The Atacama air, usually sharp as glass, grew thick, viscous. Dr. Aris Thorne felt it in his lungs inside the dome, a pressure unrelated to altitude. For 3 nights, the stars had been wrong. Not misaligned, his instruments were flawless, but their light felt curated. A sterile, ancient flicker hummed just below hearing, making his fillings ache. The desert's profound silence curdled into a watchful stillness. The first signs were whispers in the data. Not radio signals, but gravitational ripples so faint they were near theoretical. They formed patterns, fleeting geometries of impossible intricacy, flashing across his monitors before dissolving into noise. He blamed exhaustion, the isolation. Yet, when he closed his eyes, the patterns remained, burned onto his eyelids like a phantom afterimage. The feeling of being observed became a physical weight, a constant presence at his perception's edge. Sleep offered no escape. His dreams were of writhing, non-Euclidean cities beneath starless skies. He'd wake gasping, the metallic tang of ozone in his throat, his own reflection on the dark console seeming alien. The patterns were everywhere, in the window frost, the swirl of his coffee. He was a hair's breadth from a truth that could redefine cosmology or snap his mind. He severed his connection to the outside world, unable to risk being overheard. One night, the main telescope swiveled with a groan, focusing on a patch of sky known as the local void. It was supposed to be empty, a dead spot in the cosmic web. But on his screen, the darkness cohered. It wasn't a void, it was a presence, a shape that was the antithesis of light, a hole in space that drank the starlight around it. Aris realized with ice-cold dread that the signals weren't a message. They were the tremors of its passage, its consciousness leaking into his dimension. He wasn't observing it. It had allowed itself to be seen. The link shattered as suddenly as it formed. The screen reverted to static, the telescope to its default position. The stars outside were just stars again. But when Aris looked at his trembling hands, he saw faint, angular patterns shimmering beneath his skin. He glanced at the heavens, no longer seeing distant suns, but nodes of an unfathomable network, feeling the cold, clinical awareness of the entity that now knew his location in its vast, silent tapestry. He reached for his logbook, but his hand moved with alien certainty, sketching not words, but a perfect, spiraling geometry. The desert kept its counsel, its silence now filled with a low, cosmic hum.